So what I was thinking about today is this idea that maybe a woman is made to be loved and a man is made to die. Now hear me out. A while back I was watching this show, and in this show there was this husband and this wife really looked like she was thriving. And I noticed that. It's like, wow, she's really like comfortable. You can tell she feels safe and secure in a relationship. And you could tell this husband really loved his wife. And I started thinking about that idea. Well, maybe in order for a woman to thrive, they have to understand that they're loved, right? That they're really loved. And in order for a man to thrive, he has to love and to give up himself for someone else. And in that, I was thinking about, the scripture in particular in the book of John talks a lot about, the church being the bride of Christ, him returning for his bride, and he's the groom, right? He is the groom, we are the bride. And maybe as followers of Christ, we can only truly thrive when we understand that Christ loves us. Whether we're doing good or we're doing bad, he loves us. And there's the stability in that can add to our thriving. But as I think about that concept, right, well, maybe you and I can't thrive because we're the bride of Christ, can't thrive unless we understand we're loved. And like Christ laid down his life for the church. And that's the call of a husband, right? So maybe many of our wives aren't thriving because they don't feel like, because we're not doing our job as husbands, laying down our lives. But also in the scripture it says, women, like wives, submit, respect your husbands. I don't really like those words, but it's what the scripture uses. And likewise, when it talks about Christ, right? If Christ is loving us and giving up his life for us, we have to honor him by submitting to him, right? Because he will lead us and he will lead us in the right direction. And so there is that response as the bride of Christ. How does the bride respond to the groom? That is Jesus Christ. We say, I'm submitting to you. I will follow your lead. It's just something I've been thinking about and kind of wrestling with.